There is a reason Tunde could not face me today. There's a reason Tunde, he developed overnight diarrhea.
Because he's still in video for good.
He developed overnight diarrhea.
It's funny because he actually does have diarrhea.
The thing is that Tunde cannot face the truth. Nigerians cannot face the truth.
When we needed a miracle happened. A team was trashed, points were deducted, and somehow, just somehow, Nigeria are into the playoffs and they're still a shot at making the World Cup. Now, where does this take us? What exactly are even the playoffs? So this is Crossfire brought to you by Live Scobet. I am Anishilowo, Jimmy Anishilowo, and I'm here with Tosin. And not today this time, we have a special guest in the house, Ayoola Kelechi. You must know him from our other formats, Money Talk. So Ayoola, welcome to Crossfire. Are you ready to take on the historian of the game?
What can we do?
You are not.
It's an honor to be here.
Let me just tell you that you are not. But let's start with Tosin. So Tosin, before we go into our review of the qualifiers, would you like to eat your words, when you've kept on insisting that Nigeria are not going to qualify?
Eat my words how?
I mean, you said we were not going to qualify.
And I was right. And
you are not yet right.
People should be bowing down before me.
Why? How?
Like, something that it took a lot of people years to realize. I realized it back in 2023.
But it's not yet conclusive.
It's not conclusive.
Yes.
That's what you think.
Yes.
That's what you think. When they did the draws for the... Obviously, I already made a statement towards the fact of Nigeria not qualifying from their World Cup group in 2021, but I was just softly launching it then.
Okay. Developer.
But my main, and obviously there are several videos on this, my main stance was when the draw was officially done. And I looked at the draw, and I said Nigeria will not qualify from this group, which I am actually emphatically correct. I have said it several times on this show. After God, it is me. When it comes to football in Nigeria, after God, it is me.
I need to get my anti-thunder jacket.
And you can see the proof is in the pudding. I've told you, don't trust your football administrators. Don't trust they can't help you. Trust me. Trust me.
Will you trust him?
No.
Let's get into the nitty-gritty of this qualification process. Because this qualification process, I can spin it in a way of just like, I can spin it in a parable, but you guys may not understand.
Please, yours go straight.
Do your best.
No, let him go straight.
Well, I don't see.
If we speak in parables, we'll get confused, and then he will not start explaining again. So let's just go straight to the point.
There is a reason Tunde could not face me today. There's a reason Tunde, he developed overnight diarrhea.
Because he's still in video for good.
He developed overnight diarrhea.
It's funny because he actually does have diarrhea.
You didn't have to say that.
Literally. And it is as a result of the thing is that Tunde cannot face the truth. Nigerians cannot face the truth. Wow. When God sent someone like me,
I'm sorry.
I don't really see any real historical difference between me and the greats of the past, like Moses, like Joshua. There's no much difference. I literally came, I gave you the news, I gave you the precautions, and I told you what to do. People now have started coming out on, some people are celebrating, we'll get to those idiots later. Hope is for fools, like I said. There are those people that are celebrating.
Like say, they get hope.
Those ones are by the side. There are people who now want to start doing an evaluation of the qualification campaign. That it is Pesero's fault. Oh no, it is Guavun's fault. He's the technical director. No, it is the Finidi George fault. You see, let me bust your bubble. Nigerian football has cancer.
Okay.
It has cancer, but you people have never figured it out. They've been patching it through some certain, like, women's football have actually carried Nigerian football in recent times, especially like the under 20, under 17 women's national team. I think they got to the semi-final of the previous under 17 FIFA Women's World Cup. The women got to the final, won the recent WAFCON. But if you look at the grassroots football and the state of the league, you see the way they beat that referee. You see the way they beat that referee in Kano. Those are the underlying symptoms. Like, okay, let's just talk about that. It's part of Nigerian football now, NPFL. Let's actually talk.
It was under your bestie's management now.
Under my bestie, who's my bestie? Sorry.
Ahmed Musa now, of course.
Ahmed Musa. I'm not going to. I'll do a separate episode on Ahmed Musa.
No, just.
And I've told people this. I remember, like, some of the cancers in Nigerian football, you can easily root it out. The problem is that, like, Nigerians want to treat cancer with agbojedi. That's not how it works. That's not how. There's a process. You want to cure tuberculosis with plaster and iodine. I don't understand, like, the solution for Nigerians. So let's say something like the NPFL now. You see thousands of fans, they invade the stadium. How much were they fined? 9.5 million.
9.5 million, yeah.
9.5 million. I do a 9 to 5 job. Everybody, like.
You mean this job or another 9 to 5 job?
I do a 9 to 5 job. If I was desperate today, that, like, my life depended on it and I needed surgery, I can get 9.5 million naira. If I needed 9.5 million naira and I need to have surgery today, or let's say I have a wife and she's pregnant and they need to do one particular operation and she needs 9.5 million naira, I can get 9.5 million naira.
Are you sure?
How much of a club? We've been saying this issue, they'll say, they are boki, they know they hear English. If me as a Nigerian, as just a normal, I'm just using it as an example, if I can get 9.5 million naira, what is it? Do you know how you handle situations like that? Let me actually start fixing Nigerian football, because I lay out a lot of problems for Nigeria. Let me start actually fixing Nigerian football.
Thank God.
How about you find them 750 million naira? If you find them 750 million, if you find a club 750 million naira, you find a club 750 million naira, I promise you, the Abokis will hear English. I swear to God Almighty. They will hear English. Well, you find them 750 million naira. The next time an Aboki says, I want to go on the field and go and beat the referee. The next time an Aboki says, I want to go and beat the referee, I promise you, Nigerian police, they are powerful. I've seen Nigerian police intimidate Yahoo boys before. Yahoo boys that are just on the street carrying Okada. Not go and withdraw funds. Yahoo policemen are intimidating them. How much somebody that is going to cost the government massive amounts of money? I promise you, that gun that the police hold at the stadium is useful. But the problem is that, like, there's no real incentive for them to actually withdraw violence. Because how much are they going to pay? The previous payment, 3 million naira. The previous payment before that, 5 million naira. It's all changed now. You think Ahmed Musa, not Kano Pillars, you think Ahmed Musa does promos on Twitter of more than 5 million naira? Factually, Ahmed Musa has done promos on Twitter more than 5. Ahmed Musa has given former footballers on that, oh, this Uche Okechukwu is he has given former retired footballers 5 million. As they find them 950 million naira. 950 million naira. See if any Aboki will go and rush the stadium. If they will beat referee in their life. If they will tell their to fix Nigerian football is very, very easy. When I said that Nigeria qualification for the World Cup, now let's bring it back to qualification for the World Cup.
Thank God.
Qualification for the World Cup. We want to qualify for the World Cup. What was the first thing I said? I said then, who was it? Was it Jidechi? That one was looking at me like Popo. I told that one then that you want to qualify for the World Cup, you need approximately from the group, you need approximately between 20 to 22 points, which was my estimation that you will need. Nigeria's group is just one of the very, very top groups in this qualification campaign. And that is why it's so unfair that incompetence is rewarded. Incompetence is rewarded with them progressing to the playoff spot. I said, from this group, technically, what you need is about 20 to 22 points. If you look at all the other groups, if you see what Gabon had, if you see what Morocco had, if you see that basically all of them are within the 22 to 20. Some of them even had 28 points. You see, most of them are between that 22 to 28 points range. It's only probably in Nigeria's group that you see South Africa qualifying with 18 points. And technically, if South Africa had won, if they didn't field an ineligible player in the game against Lesotho, that's 3 points. They'll probably have ended up with 21 points. So technically, that's the amount of points. Even as far back as 2023, I was saying that you need 20. Look at Nigeria. Somebody wants to start calling himself Jagun Jagun on match day 10. On match day 10, what happened in match day 1? Where, especially coming from a country that did not qualify for the previous edition in 2022. Especially coming from a country, people want to proclaim some people now the greatest striker. The greatest striker in Nigerian history that has not been to the World Cup. The greatest striker in Nigerian history that has not won an AFCON title. Where is the sense of everybody has blame, and maybe we will start apportioning blame. We journalists, we have blame because I'm part of the journalist crew. We the journalists have blame. The players have blame, and the federation. Now you know me and the federation. I hate all those fat stomach bastards. They know themselves. They know you know my stance on them.
He's talking about Tunde knowing.
Tunde, what is Tunde looking for in his life? What do you think Tunde has been looking for in his life?
I don't know.
An administration job now. What do you think? Well, that is Tunde. When Tunde sits across you don't see the future. When Tunde sits across me here, I'm basing my argument on journalistic integrity. What is Tunde doing? Tunde is going to say, sir, I'm helping you to counter him on Crossfire. Sir, remember me in the future so that when that position open, you can actually give me this. That is what Tunde is looking for now. Is the fact now. Look at him. What do you think he's doing in Uyo? What do you think he's doing in Uyo? He's drinking Goldberg with them. He's drinking beer with them. He's drinking beer with them, trying to lobby for his World Cup tickets for his player. Corruption. It has eaten every fabric of the Nigerian society.
Including Tunde.
When we started the show, is that how Tunde looked like?
What?
Is that how Tunde look? If you two, you want to follow in 2 years' time, you see yourself. If you follow Tunde's footsteps, you see yourself. You see, I'm telling you that, like, journalists in Nigeria, do you know when Pesero had his nonsense? When Pesero had his nonsense, and we talked about the replacement for Pesero, we had that discussion. I think you were here. We had that discussion. Today, and some brown envelope journalists in Nigerian football, they opened. You were here now. No, he said it here now. He was opening his mouth saying that I've been in the judge. He played something in the NPFL that the. When did that disrespect start? What is he doing in that position? What is the NPFL? The NPFL is one of the most non-entities created just as a distraction for Nigerian football fans. This is not a league. This is not what professionals do. This is not, and you can. The evidence is. We all watch the Chan now. Maybe we watch Chan. The NPFL that they keep hyping up on. You see them that when we were hyping up when it still had a little bit of, before it became a shameless entity. When we were seeing, look at this. Look at Shebi, they went to Chan. That they will say this guy, if he enters national team, he can. We saw them at the Chan. Among their contemporaries, they are nobodies. And people advocated based on selfish interest that someone like Finidi should step into the vault of the Super Eagles manager. Travesty of the highest order. People should be sent. Like, there's so much blame to go around.
Who would you know?
I'm the only person that is spotless. What the I'm like, I can go on for hours.
You said that you yourself you were to blame, but now you're saying you're spotless.
As a journalist, they will put me among them. But I'm just telling you that for my own actions and deeds, I'm like a lamb. I'm like different.
What actions? What deeds?
I kept preaching. I kept giving the remedies.
Yeah, but you didn't what remedies? I'm asking you now that who would you have recommended instead of Finidi George?
Did they come to meet me?
I'm just asking.
Did they come to meet me?
How
People they borrow to lend it to some of the information where they give you on this. No value me for this show. Some of the things where they give you for this show. Well, it's not your fault, child. It's not your fault.
If you tell us you don't do it again,
It's not your fault. But the reality is this. Like I said, obviously the players have a certain amount of blame to ingest. The federation, even the journalist. But my prediction was correct. If you people don't have the capacity to see that my prediction was correct, that's your low level of thinking. I said they won't qualify from the group. The group was only going to take one winner, guaranteed. And it was not Nigeria. It was never going to be Nigeria.
it could have been. Nigeria.
It was never going to be Nigeria.
It
was never me.
It could have.
It
been
was never me. When I said it, they had not kicked one game in the qualification series. So when I say it was never going to be Nigeria that will finish top of that group, it was never going to be Nigeria. Take it or leave it. I know my stuff.
All right. Thank you. Ayoola, please, can you give us a review? Because that's what we asked Tosin to do, and he has gone on that. So please, can you give us a review of the World Cup qualifiers?
Well, I like that Tosin has been mentioning Bible characters a lot and he said God sent him, which is very important because, like he said, God sent Moses, God sent, several apostles and preachers, but he also sent Jonah. You must remember that he also sent Jonah. And if you happen to be in the same boat as Jonah, you know what will happen to you. And I think that's where Tosin is coming from. Because if you look at his assessment of, the qualifiers, first of all, saying Nigeria did not qualify, when clearly Nigeria has qualified to play the playoffs. And who is in the playoffs? Gabon with 58-year-old Aubameyang, who managed to, because he scored 4 goals against Gambia. Come on now. Let's be serious. They get through that and they play against Cameroon potentially. Cameroon or DR Congo. Onana or Yohan Wissa.
Yohan Wissa is even...
Or Silas Wamangituka. That's who Nigeria is supposed to be afraid of. Seriously. Then when they eventually get past that, they are going to play against the likes of Bolivia, New Caledonia. Have you ever heard of New Caledonia before? Is it even a real country? Nobody is sure. If it just sounds like something that they just put there, that let's just have
old Caledonia.
Thank you. So they just put one country there that let's not be as safe. So I mean, yes, we've seen disappointment during the qualifiers. We saw the Pesero, disaster. We saw the Finidi disaster as well. But this is clearly a new era. Look at Eric Shell. Look at his track record as Super Eagles manager. Not as Chan manager because... let's not consider that.
Let's just go straight.
Let's keep it with the Super Eagles. Yeah. Unbeaten as the Super Eagles manager. Look at how many points he has gotten in the World Cup qualifiers. Look at the Unity Cup. Look at the quality of football that Nigeria is playing. Look at the last match against Benin Republic, when it mattered the most. Look at how well Eric Shell has grown from his first match to this last match. That should already tell you that he knows what he's doing. He's going somewhere. If not for one captain's error in being too slow to read a pass or to read a control by a Zimbabwean player in front of his own crowd, in front of what's supposed to be his own home ground, Nigeria will be in the World Cup today. It's as simple as that. And how has Eric Shell learned from that? How many games has he started since then? Very few. He's easing him out of the team slowly. That's the mark of a manager who knows what he's doing. And you can talk about, all the failings of the past, all the problems that have gone on in the qualifiers, but that's the past. We don't care if you were right in 2023. We care about being right in 2025, going into 2026. And it's clear that Eric Shell is the one who's going to be right. It's clear that with Victor Osimhen, Nigeria is going to be right. Look at the games he played in the qualifiers. 75% win percentage. Would have been 100% win percentage if not for that error that I mentioned earlier as well. How many matches did they win without him? It's definitely, I agree with Tosin that it's a disgrace that Nigeria should need one individual to beat the likes of Lesotho and Zimbabwe. But that was in the past. This is a new era. And you have to look forward. That's where Jonah made his own mistake. He was never looking forward, which is exactly what I said about Tosin, you know. He was never looking forward.
So Tosin is not looking forward.
He was always looking back. These Nineveh people, they are the worst. This is their past. But you have to look into the future.
And he's even wearing that glasses.
Yeah, I mean, that is just what it is. As a Nigerian, a real Nigerian, a pure-blooded Nigerian.
They are pure-blood Nigerians.
Yes, no, of course. 100% Nigerian.
Okay.
You
Remember, he doesn't claim to be Nigerian. I think they said he's Dutch or something.
He's Dutch Argentine. That's the problem.
Dutch
here.
Argentine?
Yes, he's a mix.
What are you now doing in Maryland?
Well, sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles, but you know, we'll leave that for another day. But as a full-blooded Nigerian, you must have hope. When you look at the country around you, you look at everything that's going on. If you don't have hope, you just enter your house and end it all.
He himself, he get hope now. He's hoping they will increase his salary. Now he said that hope is for foods and everything.
Thank you.
But you are hoping that they will review your salary.
He has hope for many things. Hope that in 20...
Guess we are seeing this. No, Allah. Me and you go talk.
Tosin has hope for so much. That's why he's still here. Otherwise, without hope,
he could not vex for
you are
what
gone.
Like you have been advising these people and you would have just...
Like you said, you can hope that they will increase your salary. You hope that that girl you're toasting will agree for you. So why can't I hope that the Super Eagles would qualify for the World Cup when they've already made it out of the group? And you have to see that the story is too perfectly set up for Nigeria not to qualify. How many times would you see that, you know, you enter qualifiers and then, first of all, they deduct 3 points from the leader of your group?
And then another team pulls out.
As if that's not enough. Another team from another group decides to pull out and gives you... I mean, if Nigeria had won against Zimbabwe, who finished last in
they would have aggregated more points.
They would have aggregated more points against the bottom side in the group. They would not be in the top four,
So
second
just
place
seems
team.
to fall
So it
into
seems like everything, you know, even the things that look bad are working out for our good. That's what it looks like. So it's difficult to now say that, because of, you know, the past mistakes, because the NPFL is how it is, because Finidi, you know, has 2 legs and 3 eyes
Right
or
on,
whatever.
Pastor.
You cannot now say that because of all those things, that you not have hope in Nigeria qualifying. Because it's after watching that match against Benin, the one thing that you should have is hope. After looking at how everything has played out, there's no team in that qualifying phase that is better than Nigeria, that is close to being as good as Nigeria in the first place. So when you look at it, you know, with true foresight, not prophet of Baal foresight, not a fraudulent foresight, not the foresight of those pastors that will be predicting scores on the pulpit. When you look at it with real foresight, you see that, I mean, it's almost certain that Nigeria is going to be at the World Cup.
Right. Thank you very much for that, Pandora. So, back to you, Tosin. Now, going into the playoffs, I have to assume that you are still of the opinion that Nigeria cannot qualify, right? It's a way you done the puff chest out, like.
So the thing about the playoff qualification is this. Because of the process, certain things are still unclear. Oh my God, for me.
Oh, Jesus.
They'll bring it. They'll bring it, but here's the thing.
Who is they?
The spirits now.
What spirit? Holy Spirit or
I did
everyone
not say
inside
Holy Spirit, I just said the spirit.
You need to open your third eye. That's it.
She, Doctor Strange.
But that's a different discussion. This playoff situation is going to go in one or two ways. Obviously, first things first, my heart breaks for countries like Burkina Faso. My heart breaks for them.
Why?
Uganda as well.
Why?
I mean, when you accumulate that amount of points, like, you don't understand the injustice that's been served. And it's because you don't follow the true spirit of football.
Are you Ugandan or Burkina Faso?
What does being Ugandan? What does being Ugandan? It's about football. I like, see, my number one thing, and like I said, that is the number one thing that is missing in Nigeria. Missing in Nigerian football. But Nigerian football is just a subset of the Nigerian society at the end of the day. You see, corruption has filled all your minds. you all care only about yourselves and not about the process. And it is that selfishness that led to selfish decisions like the one I just laid about some brown envelope journalists. All of a sudden, in the middle of the night, started saying that Finidi is the right man for Nigeria. I don't know how you can be that daft, but if you're a football fanatic and I want things based on merit and integrity. And in this qualification series, no team least deserves to be in this playoff spot than Nigeria.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Ask me a question.
So imagine if it was Barcelona in this position, would you still be of this steadfast belief that because they have not played very well, they still do not deserve to qualify?
3 seasons ago, I remember 3 seasons ago, Barcelona played. That time the Champions League format was still that, like, if you get knocked out in the round of 16, you drop down to the Europa League. That's when we went to go and face Manchester United in the. And I told people then like, but first things first, you know me, I'm never shy to criticize my club. People that know me, the amount of criticism I levied against Xavi, people think that I actually hate Xavi. I hate Xavi the manager, but Xavi the coach. I hate Xavi the coach, the manager, but Xavi the player, I'm always eternally grateful to. But like, I just don't feel that team that he assembled was good enough. And I basically, you know me now. You see the way I wipe him until he left my club. I don't. The integrity of the game is the most important thing to me. Even when we lost to Inter Milan in the Champions League final, I told you that foul on Gerard Martin was a foul in every. I can say it 100 million times. That's my own. It's not going to change the result, but I'll just bring it up. My own is about integrity and merit of the game. No team in this qualification series approached it with as much of a lackadaisical attitude as Nigeria did. And I'm telling you, even from the fact that I'm a Nigerian, objectively looking at the way these players and this federation approach this is not how you approach a qualification. We should be, obviously the expanded format favors all confederations, but Nigeria is especially lucky with this expanded format. If it was during the 7-team, 5 qualification, this team had no business going anywhere. This is a mediocre team now. Look at the way they strolled into the first game against Lesotho. Like they were kings of the world. What is that? Then they went to Zimbabwe expecting 3 points. Like, Zimbabwe is going to just. Do you know the toughest part of the qualification campaign? It's actually the beginning. Anybody with sense knows that. Because in the beginning of the campaign, everybody still has hope. I don't have, like, hope is not my thing, but every country at the start of the tournament, even at the start of the tournament, Lesotho was still hopeful. Because when you get to game 8, that's when people start losing hope. So you need to approach the start of the qualification campaign with the utmost seriousness. Look at Tunisia. Look at Egypt. Look at Ghana. Look at Morocco. I'm very, very heartbroken for Gabon. Heartbroken. How do you get 25 points? You play 10 games, you win 8. You draw 1. You lose 1. And you still have to go and play a Nigerian useless team that were gallivanting through the qualification campaign that picked up a mere 17 points. How is that fair? How is that justice? It's not fair. Let's call it what it is now. Let's call it what it is. However, looking at this on paper, Nigeria is the strongest team. Do you know where Nigeria was also the strongest team? When they did the seeding for this, the day they did the seeding for this qualification campaign, the first one in 2023, Nigeria was the number 1 seed. Nigeria was ranked, I think, 36th in the world then, if I'm correct, or 35, one of the two. That's what Nigeria was the number 1 import 1 for this campaign. They ended up being number 2. They could easily have ended up as number 3 in this campaign. So it's not about who is the higher seed. Obviously, some certain things need to play out. Gabon is a much more easier matchup for Nigeria. Looking at it on paper. If Nigeria is able to beat, I think they should beat Gabon. There's no reason why they shouldn't beat Gabon. But that's why I said my heart breaks for Gabon, because picking up 25 points and not qualifying is just devastating. If Nigeria beats Gabon, I need to see what happens in the game between DR Congo and Cameroon. that is going to literally determine what happens in Nigeria game. I need to see how that game plays out. So until I see that game, I can't really make a prediction. That's why I say that one man go win. When I see that game, I will tell you exactly. I don't need to. I can literally do a small video and tell you that this is what is going to happen. Technically, I look at Cameroon as a team that is probably on par with Nigeria in terms of quality, in terms of Mbuemo, in terms of Carlos Baleba. What's this? Uvumu of Lorient. Even their coach is one of Bryce, one of the most respected Belgian coaches. That like they have a very decent team. Most Nigerians don't keep tabs with African football. So it's like when I said back then in that South Africa will qualify from this group, and they were like, "Who's South Africa?" I was like, if you look at Evidence Magokpa, you look at Mokwena, you look at Shitole, you look at obviously like Foster, and this is their new boy that scored in the last game. Like you see that the PSL is one. PSL, that's a strong league. That's not the shithole that you are used to with the NPFL. The PSL is a strong league, and most of their players are actually, is a credit to their system that majority of their players are based in South Africa, and they were able to ride on their league to qualify for the World Cup ahead of a country like Nigeria, who has approximately 280 million people, and whose biggest stars like Victor Osimhen plays in Turkey, Alex Iwobi, Calvin Bassey, Samuel Chukwueze, Akwa Adams, Aroko. These are all players that play in the top 5 English leagues, and a team from the PS that at least 7 of 7, apart from probably like Foster, and
that's probably all.
That's probably all. I think 9 of them are from the PSL, and the team from the that plays their football in Africa, they had more points. Just to show you, they had more points than Nigeria. So I need to really see how that game plays out. I feel that Cameroon will probably have a better chance than Nigeria and than DR Congo against Nigeria. It's not that DR Congo is not strong. They have some very, very good players. Tuazebe is there, I think. What's the name of this other guy?
Wisa is out for the season, so.
Wisa is out for the season, but what's the name of this guy? Chancellor Mbemba. And some. DR Congo will be better, but if Cameroon are able to navigate, especially since I know the last time Nigeria faced Cameroon in the Africa Cup of Nations round of 16, a lot of Nigerians were happy. No, this is not the same Cameroon, obviously. This is a better Cameroonian team. But if Nigeria should win that game, there's no reason why they should not qualify out of the other confederation eliminator. Bolivia, New Caledonia, Oman,
or
UAE. I mean, come on. It is what it is. Nigeria should pick up one of the tickets there. But that final game will probably be the decider. And for me, being honest, I won't be shocked. It's not about being pessimistic. I won't be shocked at all. Only for Nigeria to go this far, not to go this far. Let me repeat that again. I won't be shocked. Because the Super Eagles of Nigeria, gathering from most of the reactions I've been seeing, especially from the players and administration, they think that they've created some type of dynasty whatsoever. What they are riding on is the misfortune of some other countries, 1, which means karma is not on your side. 2, is luck. Those are the 2 things that rode in Nigeria's favor for them to get to this stage, in the playoff stage, that they are getting to. And when you ride on the misfortune of countries like Burkina Faso and Uganda, these are countries that are not as big as Nigeria, do not have the resources that Nigerians have, do not have the type of international players that Nigeria had, and they put their heart, their soul into this qualification series, only for them to get eliminated in this kind of way. Don't be shocked if karma kind of twists a knife in the back of Nigeria, especially in Nigeria. The only time I'm everly confident of Nigerian football is at the Super Eagles level, is when they are playing tournament football. This is not tournament football. This is elimination knockout, especially in North Africa. I won't be shocked. I won't be shocked for the slightest second that Nigeria do not make it. And that's my evaluation of the team. I don't have any ill will towards all the people that have collected brown envelope, and are now people like Tunde obviously are now trumpeting their own causes across social media. Some people said that Nigeria will not qualify when they know specifically what I meant and the direction of when I made those statements when the qualification campaign draw was held. So, but it is well. Sometimes fortune favors the unfortunate.
So Nigeria is the unfortunate one here.
It's just one of those barbaric countries that God just. Well,
I don't get how you can be angry that your own country qualified.
Again, it's not his country.
Oh, sorry.
You have to start from there.
My bad. Let me rephrase that. I don't understand how you can be angry that the country that you are living in
Fair enough.
qualified. So, Ayoola, can you give us your own predictions for Nigeria going into the playoffs? How do you think the Super Eagles are going to perform?
Well, first of all, I'll have to agree to an extent with Tosin.
Jonah much?
Yeah, I mean,
He's already infecting you with the Jonah.
he's right when he says, we feel for countries like Burkina Faso, Uganda, who, this could have been really huge for those countries.
I don't feel for them.
They did really well.
Sorry.
In the qualifiers, in the qualifying stages.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the rules are the rules. And everybody knew about these rules. It's not like when everything happened, they now decided, okay, to favor Nigeria, we'll now create some shady rules. That would be corruption.
Like the FIFA Club World Cup.
Hey, but we will not say anything about that. But that would have been corruption. But in this instance, they've known since March 16th of this year that the results against the bottom teams would be nullified because of Eritrea pulling out from the qualifiers. So obviously they would try to get to the top and finish top and accumulate as much points as possible. But as they finish second, they fall under the letter of the law. That is it's just plain and simple. It's hard. It's some people might say it's unfair, but justice is in the law. Justice is not outside the law. Justice is not in feelings. At the end of the day, Nigeria played by the books, played by the law, qualified by the law. So yes, we feel for these other countries. They are junior brothers, and such. But at the end of the day, Nigeria deserves to be where they are. It was not a win that was, gotten in the boardroom or anywhere. They still got 17 points. So let's just dead that nation that, other teams deserve to be here more than Nigeria. No.
The teams Benin 4-0 on that final day.
They would not have qualified. So the teams that deserve to be where they are the teams that are where they are. Let's start from there. Then we move on to the qualifiers. I've already said this. When it really matters, when it's asked to belt, when it's crunch time.
Excuse me, what?
Yes, asked to belt. When you're getting with, when is the crunch time? That is when Nigeria.
It's not relatable to me. So
again, you don't live that fast lifestyle. You don't live that energetic lifestyle. That's high octane lifestyle.
I don't want
so I understand.
All right.
But the people who understand what I'm saying, they understand.
Do you understand? Do you understand?
Nonsense.
Leave to say out of this. Leave to say out of this.
It's nonsense.
Because I know he understands what I'm saying.
That's when they get out.
When it's crunch time,
I understand.
Nigeria can draw with Lesotho, can lose to Lesotho, can lose to Zimbabwe. But when it comes to teams that are potentially on their level, that's when Nigeria stands up. We're not going to be playing in some stadium in Polokwane or in Bloemfontein where the grass is as green as a mud house. No. We're going to be playing in Morocco, one of the best pitches in Africa, hopefully. A country that has some of the best pitches in Africa. And that's where we're going to be playing. And we've seen Nigeria, we've seen the boys play in good stadiums. Look at the Unity Cup. Played in Brentford Stadium. Wiped everybody. Because that's the quality of Nigeria. It's when they now come back to Africa and then they are forced to play, in secondary school playgrounds and people's houses, back of people's houses. That's when, the ball begins to bounce in some weird ways that professional footballers should not be used to. But because other people, they play in the continent, so they understand these weird bounces. They understand that the ground is not even everywhere.
So they know angles.
Yes, they know the angles. They know how to.
Look at these two.
They know how to take advantage of, these.
Why are you paying?
They know how to take advantage of these
Why
unfortunate incidents. But because we're going to a place that has standard quality environment, standard pitches in Morocco, it's also what gives Nigeria a huge advantage going into the AFCON, which is also going to be played in Morocco. This is like a home match for Nigeria. Because, like Tosin said, there's no North African team involved. It's all of us down here, sub-Saharan. We know ourselves. It's us versus us. Cameroon is here. Tosin can go to Cameroon tomorrow.
I've been to Cameroon.
Yeah, I've been to Cameroon, yeah.
I think Tosin is going to Cameroon.
He might go to Cameroon.
No, when I served in Crossfire, I went to Cameroon.
So it's not people that we're not used to. We've seen DR Congo. We know what they're about. We know that they're not a small team. If there was a small team in this, there was a small team that has quality, like South Africa, for example. South Africa is not the biggest footballing country in Africa, but they have quality, That's where Nigeria falters, those in-betweens. If it's a good team, Nigeria steps up. If it's a bad team, like the likes of New Caledonia, the likes of UAE or Oman, that will most likely face in the inter-confederations qualifiers, Nigeria will step up because they know that this team is to be a disgrace if they lose to UAE. But if it's a medium-scale team that they can look down on mistakenly and say, oh, write them off. Meanwhile, they have quality. Yes, Nigeria will struggle. But there's no such teams here. We're going to play Gabon. If Nigeria does not beat Gabon, then I will come back to this program and apologize to Tosin and say, yes.
You heard it here.
Yes, the 100%.
Viewers at home are hearing.
If Nigeria loses to a Gabon side led by Aubameyang and Bouanga, sack everybody.
Sounds like
Start from sacking everybody.
Have you heard what he said? Have you heard
it sounds like a feeling law firm.
Have you heard these sentiments before? These are the same sentiments that Tunde echoed, though, so be writing it down.
Tunde said he was going to flog you.
Okay, no problem.
Tunde said he was going to put us to belt as
Luckily,
as he said.
Luckily, I don't believe in flogging people. Especially my elders in the game.
Oh, yeah, Tunde can flog him because
maybe,
Tunde is ancient now. Says he was born 19.
I don't know why this I thought to the episode. But really, truly, when you look at what Nigeria has to do, when you look at what Nigeria has already done, it's clear that, he said he believes in karma. How will you believe in karma but you don't believe in hope? Which one is, and you're sent from God, which one is biblical? Is there karma in the Bible? There's not. But there's hope in the Bible. So you should know which one is, operating in Nigeria's life at the moment. And it's clear
He said he was sent by God. He didn't say which God, actually.
Well, you are right on that one. It can be Orumila.
Yeah.
Can be Amadioha.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, once Nigeria goes through the African qualifiers, and then they now need to be among the 2 best teams out of 6 teams that would include Bolivia, that would include New Caledonia, that would include potentially UAE.
And you might even get a pass because
as one of the highest ranked
teams
to the final directly.
Yeah.
And I don't know why people think it's such a disgrace for a country of Nigeria's quality to be playing in the playoffs. Look at the 2022 World Cup. Portugal got to the World Cup through the playoffs. One of the best teams supposedly in the world. If not that, again, you would say it's lucky, but they got there. Instead of playing against Italy, they ended up playing against Macedonia because Italy dropped the ball. So why can't we hope that something like that will happen to Nigeria, considering what has already happened for Nigeria going into the World Cup qualifiers? Go further back. That wasn't the first time that Portugal had gone to the playoffs. It's not.
Also 2014.
Yeah, 2014 as well. Even Tosin's Argentina.
Yeah.
Is it Tosin's Argentina?
They've needed a Messi hat-trick on the last day to qualify for the World Cup.
I thought you were going to say what player wanted to buy two slap first, but very good. You got your history.
They needed a hat-trick on the last day to make it to the World Cup. Even his other country, the Netherlands, have gotten to the World Cup through playoffs. So it's not a new thing. Yes, nobody wants to go through the harder route, quote and unquote. But if they get there, they get there. There's no shame or disgrace in it. They're not going to say, oh, because you got through the playoffs to get to the World Cup, we are not even going to, maybe we'll put you as the bottom seed. No, nobody's going to say that. Brazil, when they won the World Cup in 2002, they were there by the skin of their teeth. So what now says Nigeria cannot do the same thing and then still deserve their place in the World Cup?
And win the World Cup.
That's a story for another day. I don't know about that one. But this is going to be, it's already called a mini tournament. And like Tosin said, Nigeria would show up for a tournament. Knowing what they have to do, knowing that, yes, they are going to play 3 or 4 finals. And as long as, 1, Eric Schell is still in charge. 2, Victor Osimhen is still in this form. 3, they limit our captain's game time to as little as possible. There's nothing that stops Nigeria from being at the World Cup.
You just said 3 things. Meanwhile, you remember I told you about my vision of Eric Schell?
Good, you're going to pour it on you.
Coming soon. Coming soon to you. Coming soon to you.
All right, so Tosin, before we go, quick question for you. Please, under 2 minutes. I think God beg you. Under 2 minutes. Do you think that based on Eric Schell's track record, because he's so far unbeaten as Super Eagles coach, that he is the coach for Nigeria?
The Eric Schell that I saw at the Chan.
We already said we are not counting the Chan. We are focusing on Super Eagles.
When did we agree on that one?
We came to a sort of consensus.
You guys just ganged up. Okay, let me say something positive about Eric Schell.
Really?
Let me say something positive about. We'll get to the crux of the matter.
2 minutes.
Yeah, so Eric Schell, let me say something positive about Eric Schell. When Eric Schell was actually appointed, I told people that as far as the qualification campaign is the group stage, he's not going to get what you need because it didn't matter who was going to be in charge. However, one thing I've seen him do is, especially in the last game, is that he was able to change from that his rigid 4-4-2 diamond to a 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-2 hybrid. And it's something that I could have picked up somebody that plays football manager on the streets to just do that tactical change. Given the fact that Nigeria's strengths, given the fact we have multiple very, very good strikers in Boniface, in Osimhen, in Arukudare, in now Akko Adams. You could literally see that our strength was in the attacking positions and in the wide positions, rather than trying to turn Samuel Chukwueze into a Messi Reggie for whatever reason. So he made a tactical adjustment, which is fine. However, that tactical adjustment could not be exploited by a team like Benin Republic. Not because Genetro is not a good tactician, but 2 things did not work in Genero's favor. Was that Genero needed to win that game, so he couldn't be ultra defensive. And 2, Benin Republic, no disrespect to them, they had a very good qualification campaign. They don't have the quality of players to exploit an Alex Iwobi and Wilfred in the 2-man midfield. No disrespect to them. Alex Iwobi actually has been very, very impressive. When you play against a team like Cameroon, they have the potential to do that. You understand? When you play against a team like DR Congo, they have the potential to do that. So that is one thing I want people to understand. Now, as bad as whatever category I put Eric Schell, Finidi George is in the pits of hell. You can book that one down. You don't need. Finidi George is in the. Wherever if you say that Eric Schell is a grade F manager or a grade E manager, just go to Hellfire and go and look for Finidi George. That's where he is. As far as his quality, don't talk to me about NPFL code. So he showed me a little bit of tactical adaptability. Let's see what he will be able to do against a much better team that can exploit a 2-man single midfield. Let's see what he will do in the knockout stages.
So, Ayoola, over to you. Same question before we quickly round up. So far, what has been your assessment of Eric Schell? Do you think he's the right coach for Nigeria?
I mean, I think, like Tosin, when he was appointed, the sentiment was, a lot of people thought, oh, who is this manager? Where is he coming from? And it just shows that people don't really follow African football. Because if you watched...
that point water on his head should have...
Again, that match, when you even talk about the point water on his head, you have to understand the circumstances of what happened. Mali were shell-shocked by a late goal. 2 late goals, actually. In a match where many people would say that they were cheated by the referee against Cote d'Ivoire, the AFCON. If that's not enough to make your head hot,
Well,
Then what else? What else?
Who was that person that
Was his
just went
assistant, his assistant coach? I mean, he already said, he has blood pressure issues, and his assistant coach understands this, and so that was the first thing that came to his mind at the time. And unfortunately, it became a meme. And the way football works is that your best is never what really sells you at the end of the day. You look at someone like Yakubu.
Yeah.
When you think about Yakubu Aigbeni,
One of the
many
best.
people will say, "Oh, he's missed in."
Meanwhile, he has more Premier League
Right,
goals
than
than
Didier Drogba.
Didier Drogba.
He was one of the highest scoring Africans in the Premier League.
But everyone
One of
remembers
the highest
only that
scoring,
miss.
one of the highest scoring Nigerians of all time.
Yeah, 21 goals.
21 goals. Osimhen has 29, but Yakubu and Osimhen, the way they are looked at in Nigeria is very, very different. So it's unfortunate that people tend to bring up your worst moments, but when you think of the best of Eric Schell, you look at the Mali team. Just watching them play, you know that this is a well-coached team, and him coming into Nigeria into a disastrous situation. 3 points from your opening 4 qualifiers. It was never going to happen. Yet, they cut off his legs and he has used his hands to climb the staircase to reach where he has reached now. So it's clear that Nigeria has a coach in Eric Schell. And given time, he has shown that he learns. Like I already mentioned with, reducing game times for some people. Tosin also mentioned changing his tactics when it was needed, when Nigeria needed to be ultra offensive, needing to score 4 goals. They went out and did that. So it's clear that Eric Schell is a quality coach. If the anyhowness of Nigeria does not affect him, I have no doubts that he's going to make his mark on Nigerian football.
Well, let's hope that anyhowness does not come into play. So we've heard from both Tosin and Ayoola. Now I'm throwing the question to you guys. Do you think Nigeria will make it? Do you think we can still go to 2026 World Cup? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. I am Jimmy Anushilo, and this is Crossfire, brought to you by Lifescore Bet.